Now to make an orchid like that, you start off with the throat. I've got a little bit of green paste here, and I'm going to use my dog bone tool just to shape the underneath part, as you can see, to curve it in. And then I'm going to take my piece of wire, if I can pick it up, dampen the end with your with your gum arabic, and pull it onto the wire so that you make it stay in position. Then take a little, tiny little bit of white paste, roll it into a ball, and this little bit you put on the end of his nose. And then I use my tweezers just to indent it so that it looks like that. Now hang that up to dry, and the next thing you do is to roll out some of your cream coloured paste. I'm going to cut the throat with this big, slightly frilled cutter, and then cut 2 indents into here. I'm just going to use the scissors for this. Right. So I've now cut these sections out. Put down a little bit more corn flour, and like you did with the carnation, just frill this edge from the cut area around the front of the throat. In the middle of the throat, the back, you put a little bit of yellow. Roll it into a long cigar shape. Then bend it forward and stick it onto the throat. Pick it up, and taking the dry centerpiece, position the end of it at the point of the throat, and then wrap these 2 around until they meet on the top. You can curve it over your finger, and then you can let that set. Now this has to be done the day before you actually make the orchid, and you can see I've got one here that is now set into position. We bring the orchid to life by giving it a little bit of dusting. And I've got a soft brush and some yellow and some brown dusting colours. So dust into the throat itself with the yellow, and then a little bit of the brown at the front. Now this is a cymbidium orchid, and these come in browns and creams and greens and colours of that sort. And you can just put a few little lines. I'm using a marking pen, but you could in fact use some colour on the end of a paintbrush. And then it has a series of dots going up into the throat itself. And now we go on to form the petals of the orchid. And I'm going to use my needle point, and I'm just marking down the petals just to give it a little bit more life. And to assemble the orchid into position, take a little ball of paste, and I'm going to use an apple tray. Put some gum onto the ball of paste and take the first of the long petals and drape it lengthways down the apple tray. Then you form a propeller shape by putting the other 2 long ones down that way. Each time you lay them in position, gum over the top, so that you've now got this 3-pointed propeller shape. This back one you can curl forward as well. Sometimes they go back, sometimes they go forward. Now just pick up the petal, soften the edge, put that into position, So now you can see that I've got two narrow ones at the front, one at the back, and then the two larger petals coming up almost like arms. So you've got the legs, the arms and the head. And then to finish the orchid off, paint a little bit of gum in the centre, and taking the throat, curve the wire, and then thread it down through that centre pad, straight through the polystyrene, and pull it through. And there's your orchid.